Okay, so you have some people that can make some good grits. Like they can make some good grits, but you can taste. I see why it's called Cajun Bistro because it's like they put some extra seasoning in here, baby. Oh,
Look, check. You want it to be like that angle good.
yeah. This is the grits bowl, baby.
Okay, I got the omelet, honey. I don't know if you can see it.
You'll have some pictures for y'all.
Yeah, we got some good video earlier.
I already got a little taste of my grits before we started the camera back up, and baby, these grits so good. I gotta give you some of these before I get too far up in it.
I was just looking at my plate. I was like, damn, I wish I had some grits to this. Perfect.
The
Lord will provide.
Yes. You know some grits are good when you gotta share with somebody, baby. Like somebody else got to witness this.
Oh my God. This omelet is so good.
I wish I could see this food while we eat it, but
what's more important though is that I get to eat it. So that's happening. We're explaining it to you. That's about as good as it's gonna get.
yeah. I'm sorry.
They don't smell a vision, but it also smells delicious.
It's the seasoning all up in the grits, like.
Oh my God.
Okay, so you have some people that can make some good grits, like they can make some good grits, but you can taste. I see why it's called Cajun Bistro because it's like they put some extra seasoning in here, baby. And then if y'all can see that seasoning on top of the eggs. Yes, baby, yes. I'm talking about.
Wow.
Now, I've been trying to lay off the pork, but the bowl said, what kind of meat do you want? Bacon ended up in my bowl, baby. Girl.
This is good.
I feel like we got to come up with a scoring system just for this.
Anytime. Yeah, we definitely need to. I don't know how much talking I'm gonna be able to do, y'all.
That's what I'm saying. I'm sorry. Like we.
This
Yeah. Like in all seriousness, like
took it to another level.
this is very, very, very good.
Very. Alright, just in case I didn't get it the first time.
Extremely well done.
Okay.
I feel like I want to go like high five the chef, high five all the workers. Like
And let's run it down.
I did go to the bathroom while I was before we got started eating, and the bathroom was nice and clean.
That matters.
It matters.
That matters. So you know how your bathroom looking like? And I gotta get up in between in the middle of my meal. I ain't trying to lose my appetite.
Right.
I had it right, y'all. So thank you for that. We're gonna add that to the customer service.
Definitely. So far, I'm giving them a 10 out of 10. Like, I really can't find anything to complain about. From the friendliness of the workers to the cleanliness of the place to the different taste in the food. This is like a winner. I can see this will be in a place like when your folks come from out of town.
Yeah.
Now, let me take y'all down here to this Cajun Bistro, baby, so y'all can get some of this real Alabama brunch. That kind of feeling is what I'm getting right now.
Yeah. And it's a real chill vibe again. We'll just add to it.
Right.
Okay. So for the rest of this, I'm gonna try my best to eat cute. I don't know if it's gonna work. But I'm gonna try. It's too good for that.
Right. I mean, we do have a chat portion of the chat and chew, but this food just happened to be so good that, you know what I'm saying, we had kind of throw it out for a minute.
We'll get back on it. Or maybe not. You know, like, it comes down to, I just love food.
Right.
That's really what it is. Like,
so when it's done right, you can really appreciate it. I mean, just to jump into some of the topics that we were kind of throwing around back and forth earlier, I think we could start with the Snoop Dogg. I think it's really big that Snoop Dogg has recently acquired Death Row Records. So if you grew up in the 80s and 90s, 70s, then you know that Suge Knight, Tupac, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, and all those other artists that were signed to Death Row or part of Death Row played a really big part in the hip hop community. So we've been following this story for what, decades?
You mean a story like of Death Row?
Right.
Yeah.
So you've seen artists come through there. You've seen artists leave. Like
a lot of drama.
Yes.
A lot of drama. No shortage of drama. For sure. As far as like the name of Death Row.
Right. I remember being like
theatrics over the years at award shows and things of that nature.
Right. So you know, Diddy was kind of involved in some of the drama. Like a lot of the very big names in hip hop were affiliated or associated with the Death Row movement in some type of way, whether they were a part of the movement or they was heavily beefing with the movement, supporting the movement, not supporting the movement. A lot of people was very open, vocal about following the Death Row saga. But it was always owned by Suge Knight. And we heard the craziest stories about Suge Knight.
Right? I was right. Him.
Right.
I mean...
I still kind of am a little bit.
I was just about to say that. I ain't know, it's a very slim chance that I ever encountered this man in real life, ever. But he scares me. He's kind of like a boogeyman, kind of. And I don't know if that's just like people in our age range, like a millennial age range. But we were kind of young when a lot of this stuff was going on.
I used to hear crazy stories about the stuff that used to be going on at the studio and like how it was all kind of stuff in the back. Like, I don't even want to talk about it because Suge Knight.
Yeah.
I don't want no problems with you, and we don't know how true it was.
Okay, that's why I'm like.
And we don't know exactly what happened. I mean, over the years, I have said my little jokes like about what Suge Knight has done or what he might have did and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, he is still a real, actual person, and he deserved a chance to tell his story first before we just.
Because she's scared.
Please, Mr. Suge, if you listen. But nah, for real, we can't just demonize him. But it was some, like, just look it up. So I'm gonna say that.
It's right.
Instead of me saying what
Google
they said about him,
okay.
Just look it up, and you'll see the kind of stuff that Suge Knight, the owner, the prior owner of Death Row was. But now Snoop Dogg, who was once a part of that label, who fought for that label, and then left that label, and it was a big deal about him leaving. He now owns it.
That with No Limit. Remember he did that for a little split second?
Yeah, so No Limit, Master P and his crew, they all play a part of, like I said, it's a lot of people involved in following the Death Row story, whether they like had beef with them or whether they was a part of it. If you was a part of hip hop around that time, you came across Death Row in some kind of way.
Right.
But
and then the music, shit, on top of that,
yeah.
Without even, we're getting to Snoop and like his current news or whatever, but they had such a huge impact on the culture in terms of everything, really. You know, they was just, and all right, so it's a little bit off topic, a little bit, but let me make a quick caveat about like record labels. It's like record labels used to be like a big deal back in the day. Like I don't feel like record labels really carry the same weight like they used to anymore. I think people are kind of individualized. I think a lot of people getting famous through social media and things of that nature. So you don't have that same kind of like dependence on like getting signed to a label, one. But then also like I don't really be seeing the labels kind of coming out like as a gang basically. Like y'all, it's supposed to be like a team of people, a team of artists that we all know and we get to know individually, but we also understand and see how they connect underneath this one label. And it's like you have people like what, like Dreamville or Young Money or whatever, but even those are kind of like, you know, not as cohesive as I feel like it used to be back in the day. Like people really were like gang about their record label. Right. And even just saying that, I'm laughing because it sounds silly now, but like to even think that, to imagine people today doing that. But back then it was very serious. And so for me, to kind of bring it back and talking about the current news about Snoop Dogg, you know, taking on this label, I feel like it's almost like a comeback story.
Yeah.
Like I love it honestly because it's redemption time almost. Because when you think about it, like and this was even before this news came out, I always hold Snoop Dogg in a high regard because one, the staying power of his career, first of all. Like he has been so consistent, been out here making his money, been in doing movies, he had his own show. Everybody wants to LA don't remember that show on MTV that Snoop Dogg have. Every time I bring it up, everybody LA don't know what I'm talking about.
I know the show.
Okay.
Doggy Fizzle Television.
Okay. Doggy Fizzle Television.
Yeah.
On the LA don't know. It was a joke show. It was a spoof show, but also I feel like it displayed like Snoop Dogg capacity to be humorous with a lot of skits. I feel like it showed another side to him. It really kind of made him like, instead of him being just like, oh, this, you know, the kind of like thug persona, gangster persona that he had as a part of his rap career, he kind of showed his soft side, his humorous side. And I thought this show was funny. I thought it was a hilarious show, so I really loved Doggy Fizzle Television. But anyway, so the point I'm making is that Snoop Dogg been all over the place, eating his bread consistently across decades, okay? Yes, there's very few people who can say that about their career. And so it was good to hear, you know, that he got this new thing going as far as like redeeming the name of Death Row Records.
I'm definitely I'm 100% agreeing with that because Snoop Dogg was always one of my favorite rappers. Even when I was a small kid, like it was just something about him. He had this different sound, this different freshness, and even though he was rapping gangster talk, he didn't really make me want to go be a gangster. I could tell that he was pretty much just telling you what it is like around his part of town. This is how they do, and when you see the videos of him and his friends outside with the cars drinking with the blue on and pouring up cups and all that stuff like that, it felt like he was just saying, this is me, this is what I'm doing. Versus, you know, a lot of the rappers now who it's like they telling you to go do it. It make it feel like they almost trying to convince you that that's what you need to be doing. So I just wanted to give Snoop his flowers on that part, as well as for not necessarily trying to provoke the youth to go do what he do, but still at the same time making them aware of this is how it goes down, you know. So shout out to Snoop.
That's his life story, and it's like, and it always come down to that, like in terms of people kind of seeing music artists as being role models or not. Like, you know, you talk about this in your song, you talk about that in your song. It's like every artist, regardless of whether they're a rapper, whether they dance, whatever they do, you're gonna bring your life experience into what it is that you do.
Right.
And so, like, as long as that's actually your life experience, then honestly, what can anybody say to you about what you talking about your own life,
right,
and what you do? Now, on that same token, if you out here, you know, flogging and coming up with stuff and pretending like you're doing stuff that you ain't been doing, yeah, that's another story. That's another story. You know, that's one way to come. That's a one way, you know, for a come up. So in that regard, you can't be mad at it. But at the same time, you're not in the same category with the people who are just telling their life story.
And also tell all sides of it. So if you do want to talk about gang banging and having the women and the drugs and the cars and all this stuff, tell the other side of it too, when you didn't have all the money that it took to re-up and you had to borrow from your mama and your aunties and sisters them, or when somebody came and stole all of your drugs and you had to be in a street war to get it back, or you just took that loss because you know you couldn't beat the person who did it, or when the police came and kicked your mama dough in or kicked your dough in and took you to jail. But like, if you're gonna tell about it, then tell the whole thing. Stop making these kids feel like it's all about a glorious lifestyle and we just chilling and doing what we want to do.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie, that is a part of it because you don't work for corporate America. You do have a chance to be free and do what you want to do on a daily basis, but what about all the risk and the danger that comes with it, just from driving from one drop to another when you're taking a risk? So
right.
keep it real. Let's make this thing 180, not 360.
Right. And so I feel like the best artists do that, and they do that naturally, right? Because because it's always like it's an aspect of talent. It's an aspect of like you having a story that anybody want to listen to, first of all, whether it's made up or not, and it's an aspect of like really just kind of getting lucky and having access to resources, right? So it's like all those pieces can be put in place. So you can be talented and have access to resources, but your story ain't really all that interesting. So that's when you get people kind of like trying to, make it up, just try to make it seem interesting. But when you have all three of those things all together, and I feel like Snoop Dogg absolutely is one of those artists who have all those things. And it's like, to me, I don't know Snoop Dogg, I don't know him, never met him, but just from my experience and seeing him for pretty much my whole life, really.
Right.
When you really kind of step back and think about it, I was a child the first time I ever saw him on TV. That he always has been himself.
Yes.
Like, that's it. Like, that's what you get with Snoop Dogg, is that he is being himself on camera. He is being himself in a song. He is being himself in the movie. Right. Actor. But still, you get what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? You know what you're going to get when you have Snoop Dogg. And so, in thinking about that and that consistency across all the years, to me, it gave me the impression that he's a solid person. And so, in thinking about in the past how Death Row Records was kind of like chaotic and dangerous in a sense, I feel like him being at the helm of it will give them an opportunity to kind of like have something that's a little bit more calm, a little bit more stable, level-headed, but at the same time, he's still an OG. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he have all of the elements put in place to really try to do something with this that I'm real interested in seeing. Like, I don't exactly know what he's going to do, because it's like it's a new world. It really is a new world. It's been a couple decades since, like I was saying at the beginning, like since labels have been like a big part of like the music scene, as far as like just how we as consumers understand and see what they're doing. We don't really see the labels groups in that same kind of way. So like he's gonna bring back that kind of like collective, communal thing in terms of like having a label and everybody really kind of rocking with each other like that.
That would be dope.
Okay, I would really love to see it.
Yeah, so big shout out to Uncle Snoop Dogg. I mean, from putting Bow Wow on to everything else that he's done. We can't forget about him, like Bow Wow running around in the videos when he was a little boy, and him just seeing something in him and taking him under his wing. And I think he said that he told Jermaine Dupri to take Bow Wow from him, because he was like, I'm a whole gangster thug rapper. He needs a better image. You had Crisscross, so just him being like a real uncle figure, and seeing him grow over the years, like this man be dropping gems, and like Ev said, whole time just being himself. He's doing this all by being himself, and I always knew that I resonated with Snoop Dogg way more than I should be as a kid, because I'm like, this man is on here rapping about gin and juice, and then I'm like, why do I like him so much? But it was just the realness, that appealed to me. I can just tell that he's being himself. He's telling a story. I mean, I do music too, so it was later on in life where I realized why I was so inclined to other artists, because it was just something that was in me. But Snoop Dogg, from day one, I used to love him. Ask me who my favorite people was, I would say Snoop Dogg, Queen Latifah, and Michael Jackson. Them was my people. Can't tell me nothing.
3 people in a row.
It was a broad range, man. So shout out to Queen Latifah too. Like, I know we got to talk about the Snoop Dogg Death Row, but just thinking about it, how these music people play a big role in our life. But Queen Latifah, just to see her, all the rappers that used to be on TV, the lady rappers would have on like the little sexy outfits and stuff like that.
I'm smiling because she's been talking about this.
She come out here with these dashikis on, this African garb. I'm like, bruh, who is this lady? Who you calling a bitch? UNITY. And then I used to be rapping UNITY in my room as a little kid. Like, I really was like, what you going through, bro? Like, how you know? But I ended up having a little bit of activism in me too, so it was just resonating with me already. So Queen Latifah, shout out to you, girl. Like, you been it, and then your glow up.
Okay, look, that's a whole another episode. Like, we're gonna have to, bro. We gotta go Queen Latifah.
Who knew she can act like that? Ooh. We can talk about her next time if you want to, baby, because I don't ever get tired of talking about Queen Latifah.
Man, set it off. All right. That's another episode.
So this is what Snoop Dogg had to say about acquiring Death Row. So I'm just going to read it, his own quote. So Snoop Dogg says, to be in control of the brand means that I got all the pieces that I need to do what I got to do. From the masters to the publishing to the IP to the label, the logo, everything. He said, it's all mine. I'm able to move it around and do what I need to do with it. As far as Tupac's masters came back to him last year. So that's big. I feel good with them being in Tupac's hand. Being in Snoop's hand, they're safe. He said he's got a great relationship with the estates of Tupac. He's pretty sure we're going to be able to work something out to continue some Death Row Tupac business. Now that Snoop Dogg is in control of Death Row. The same with Dr. Dre and The Chronic. He got the Chronic album. Like, he has the publishing, mastering rights to the Chronic album. Doggy Style, The Dog Father, some of his greatest albums as well. So this is the start of a great movement. I feel like a big burden has been lifted off of hip-hop's back. We can take a breath now. We can see now that it's not over with. Major things are continuing to happen. He was a young 20-year-old when he came into the game. He didn't know nothing. He sold classic albums that people are crazy about to this day. He said he didn't know nothing. He was getting robbed blind by the people who was running his business. But just to see this success story, this Cinderella story with him to be able to, the same label that he was with when he was a kid, basically. Now as a 50-year-old man,
wow,
owning it, and it's just big things going on, man.
That's so inspirational.
It is.
Oh, find your dream, man.
Yeah.
Find your dream.
Hard work and dedication, man. Being at the right place at the right time. Knowing what you're going to do when you get there. Like, I mean, this is what I would say to anybody who's following any kind of dream. Like, you got to always be ready because you never know when that time is going to come. So whether you do music or poetry or hair, or you're a teacher or a trainer, whatever it is that you do, that big opportunity that you're waiting for could be in any room. So when that person be like, hey, you know what? I think I'm ready for you. Come on here. Are you going to be ready? So you can sit around all the time talking about what you want to do and what you know you can do. If you have that feeling that I can just do these unthinkable things and you see yourself in your mind doing it, you really can do those things. You just got to put one foot in front of the other. You got to take a step before you can walk a mile. A minute has to pass by before days pass by. But what you're doing with each little small part, it's going to work out in the end, man. Shout out to Snoop Dogg, the new owner of Death Row, baby.
It's major. It's major. And it's like, the thing about it, I love that you explained that, like, in terms of, like, taking it step by step, because Snoop Dogg, he went through a lot at Death Row to the terms where he felt like he didn't believe, you know. And that was if I'm not mistaken, Death Row, it was centered around California artists. And so I feel like, you know, everything, like, east side, west side, the south, like, it was regional alliance was like a huge thing back then. And it was so much so that he felt like he needed to go find a home elsewhere. And so that, to me, that indicates that he was having a big struggle there, right? And so, of course, he already had in his mind that, like, I could do something better with this. I could do this differently. You know, we need to do this right? And at the time, he didn't have the clout, he didn't have money, he didn't have the, it wasn't an option for him to take over Death Row, right? But in time, you know, just playing his part, gaining the popularity that he needed to gain, making the moves that he needed to make, getting his money out here, he was able to put himself in a position in order to do something bigger than just be an artist, right? And so, I mean, to me, that's when I think about, in my mind, of like what a career is, that's to me what I see as like a career. Like, you start you don't have to start at the bottom, but you start wherever you start, right? And then you build on it and build on it and build on it. And like every decade of your life, you're looking at it differently. You're seeing something more. You're seeing it grow, right? And so, and I feel like everybody has something like that in their life that they've been committed to, that they've been building on, that they see it giving back to them over and over and over again, year after year, decade after decade. And so, again, Snoop Dogg inspires. It just inspires me. So, yeah, I love to hear that.
Sorry, y'all. This green apple lemonade. It's so good. Yes, everything's good.
The owner asking us to do
See, look, customer service amazing. You getting asked from the window, is everything good? Like, yes, it is. So, speaking of good news and congratulations going around, shout out to my girl Riri. Rihanna, she is expecting a baby. Her and A$AP Rocky, the self-proclaimed pretty motherfucker, they gonna be having a baby soon. Yeah, he know he pretty, honey. But the fact that they both are just these gorgeous individuals, and they don't mind standing out. They don't mind beating to their own drums, from their fashion statements to their music to where they vacation, where they party, what they eat. They just always willing to take a risk, and they both look very, very well doing it. Rihanna's very pretty lady. A$AP Rocky, very attractive man. It's just like so many good qualities that are mixing together to create this baby. So I'm so excited. First of all, I'm a Riri Stan fan.
Yes.
Like, I love her. Even back when she came out, we was still buying albums at the store. So girl, you had the brown hair, the long brown hair. You know, you was still doing your little girl around town type looks. Yeah, I've been down with you since then. And the edgier that you got, the edgier that a lot of us other girls got as well, because you pretty much helped us break that mold of just like having to look like this, having to look like that. Like,
having to follow the rules, basically.
Right.
Like, you can try something different. You can break the mold, because it's like everybody, and it was like Rihanna was like the starter kit to learning how to be edgy.
Right.
Because it was like, it didn't matter what, Rihanna has had so many different hairstyles, oh my God. But tell me why the whole community, every time Rihanna changed her hair, everybody got that same hair.
You gotta go get it.
Okay, everybody, you'll see it everywhere. It's like, in all my days, I ain't never seen nobody with no bright red hair, like cut like this.
Rihanna had everybody with that red hair.
But then
baby. I had it.
Everybody and they mama too. Now, that's not an exaggeration. That's a saying, but ain't no exaggeration. Everybody and their mamas was getting this hair, whether it was a wig or a quick weave or whatever they gonna do, they gonna get that cut.
Now, if you one of them ones that's sitting back there talking about, I've been wearing the bright red, okay, not you then, Patty Ann. Not you, Mary, but the rest of us, we wasn't doing it. Not too many people wasn't doing it. And what you said about Rihanna, like doing so many different styles, one thing that used to trip me out about her is that she didn't care if she was just short black, then she'll go long red, then she'll come back, she'll be gray. It's like she wasn't trying to go to no rhyme or rhythm. She wasn't asking nobody for no apologies. It made her fun to follow. Because most of the other women that we was looking up to that was doing music, they had their signature look. Right. So if they had the Chinese bang with the black hair, that's what they wore. If they had the blonde hair, that's what they wore. She was one of the ones that bust out, and she was like the singing Lil Kim. Like, you know, Lil Kim had, I just wanted to try all them different color wigs and stuff, but it was like you can't wear all them different color wigs that Lil Kim was wearing on a day-to-day basis. Rihanna gave us something that we can do in an everyday basis, everyday setting, and we can change it. Mm-hmm.
That's true, and I wonder what that really did set her apart in like a real important kind of way. It's almost like we learned to trust her style.
Right.
Like we learned to trust the changes that she made in terms of like, just like you were saying, like really pushing the envelope.
Right.
And so it's like, honestly, I don't know how much of a mastermind Rihanna is, but when I think about like the success that she's had with her brand, the Fenty brand, in terms of the clothing and the lingerie and the makeup and all these different, like, we following her, right? Like, whatever domain that she do, we like, oh, okay, if Rihanna doing it, then we trust her. So she really has the trust of like a huge portion of the whole generation of women, like, all around the world.
Right.
You know, just because, again, that's another theme for this thing, because she did what? She was being herself.
Kept it real.
Kept it real. She wasn't scared. She wasn't scared to break the mold. And it's like, it's almost kind of like what you expect from when an artist comes out. It's like either they're gonna give you the shock and awe, you know, or they're gonna have this consistent thing. So when you see them, you know who they are. So they kind of become like a common name. You know, when you see that person with that look, then you already know who it is. And it's like, in some ways, that's like you can box yourself in. Right, by doing that. And it's like, sure, okay, it becomes iconic in a way, right? And it's like nobody else can do that look without being accused of like trying to copy you, you know, and so that's true. But then at the same time, like, you don't give yourself the kind of flexibility to be able to evolve over time. And I definitely see in Rihanna's career that she gave herself the opportunity to evolve. Now I'm not a person who changes my hair a lot, but Ashley definitely is. This is the first time I ever colored my hair. This is barely, you know, anything that's to write home about as far as color is concerned.
It is though.
Shoot, I'm just saying, like, I definitely feel like it opened the door for a lot of people to be able to feel comfortable doing that.
Yeah. I guess that's, I don't know. Shout out to you, Rihanna, for being a button pusher, for making the statements that we wanted to make. Like when she did that breakup song, baby. You look so dumb right now, standing outside my house. Because it was like, most of the R&B songs were like, oh, my boyfriend's gone, he ain't coming back, he don't want to do right. Rihanna was like, trying to apologize, you're so ugly when you cry. Please, just cut. It's like, I used to be singing this song, like, it don't matter if I'm going through a breakup or not. Like, yes, baby, this is the attitude I'm going to have. If somebody try to play with me, baby, like, she had it. And then she even did the songs, like, Unfaithful, but she sung it like a ballad. Yeah. Like, who does that? Like, you singing about how you can't stop going off and running off with this other man.
The last little bit of that grit. Little corn, you know, you leave a little.
Think on it.
So good. I just had to double back on the grit being exceptionally good. Okay, sorry. Back to Rihanna.
Now, if she acting like that from that little bitty corner I gave her, how y'all think I'm feeling? I done had the whole bowl, baby. Them things was like, I'm talking about for real. Come to Cajun Bistro, baby. But period. 1905 Park Place, Birmingham, 35203. All right. So
but yeah, she was something else.
Yeah, like the songs that she made. The way she sung the songs, what she was saying, all the way from back then, the songs that I was just naming, all the way up to like, bitch better have my money. Like, what kind of boss? Like, she just bossed up. Like, she just don't.
And she's singing it.
She walks in that.
Yeah.
That I don't care who looking, I don't care who watching. This how I feel about it. I can see Rihanna like just like hiking her leg up and peeing like on the side of the road and being like, what? I couldn't hold it.
Don't do it like that now.
Yeah. Like, that's how I picture you, Rihanna. Like, you don't, what you looking at? I don't care what you're looking at, boy.
Even it like, all the way real.
Right. Yeah, just all the way real. Now, I know that you are a classy lady, baby. Your looks that you give, the way that you're able to carry yourself, the way that you have the ability to captivate a room. I could never take that from you, but I just know that you're real. Like, I can just see you at the house, like, chilling in your sweatpants, like, just eating a hamburger or some wings or something. Like, yes. I got to unbutton these pants. Like,
you're right. And it showed like the full spectrum of a person, right? Like, she never was trying to curate something and just show us just a little piece of herself, you know, in order to sell us stuff. She really was willing and to be vulnerable, really, and and show her whole self to us. And it's like, and we feel it, right? And I just rock with her. And again, I feel like that goes back to what I was saying about that trust piece. Right. At times, like, we really do trust her opinions about things. We trust that what she says she's doing. And so I don't know. I ain't never bought no fancy stuff. I'm gonna keep it 100.
It's like
it's a little bit. It's like this much outside of my price range because I'm very cheap.
Once you use her face products, then you ain't gonna want to go back. You can tell she put her time into that. She ain't gonna put her name on nothing weak. So the lip glosses, the foundations, everything is all the best. It's like Mac Who. Kylie Who, you know what I'm saying? Like, she ain't the richest female singer in the world for nothing. Like, she puts her name on these products, so that means that she's going to deliver. She don't have time for no little measly hater that's just sitting at home waiting for her to mess up, waiting for the opportunity to have something to talk about. She's not going to give you that chance. So she works very hard on any type of product or service that she offers, and she's going to make sure it's great. Her clothing, her lingerie, I just want to shout out how diversified the models are. I see it coming down my timeline for that lingerie, and it's like the plus size models, the very skinny models. I saw one woman who only had one arm. Right. You know, it's like they it's just the possibility is endless of who
All
could
the
work
skin
for Rihanna.
tones, all the hair.
Yeah.
You got people with tattoos, which you very rarely ever see with models, which I think is strange because tattoo is literally like body art.
Period.
So I don't get that, but
The older lady that she used as one of her makeup models, she was like a much older lady. Okay, so they always marketing the makeup to youthful people, but you know, older women, they wear makeup as well. They got changes in their skin, so she wanted to show you like, I got something for everybody. And that's what you gotta love about Rihanna, because she's a people lover. Anybody who can give you quality stuff and be loving you at the same time, you don't get that a lot. Like, you got people who, they love you, so they gonna give you what you got. Then you got some who got great stuff for you, but they ain't gonna treat you right. But when somebody got great stuff for you and great love for you, it's just hard to top Rihanna, baby. So she has a baby on the way. So congratulations.
We hardly even talk about the baby because it was.
Look, I mean, we're just gonna bring it back at some point.
But congratulations, Rihanna.
Yeah.
Becoming a mother, like, and it's been really interesting to see like how she's doing like motherhood in the public as far as like the outfits and stuff that she's been wearing. She's been taking a lot of like in pure Rihanna fashion. Like she's been taking all these fashion risks with showing her full belly on display.
Yeah.
Through it's cold wherever she at.
She don't care. She
jacket. She don't care. She's showing off her belly. And it's like it's almost kind of like she's trying to take like fashion risks within the maternity sphere, right? Like, and so some people are saying that like, oh, you know, like she's still dressing like how she normally would, and I don't agree with that.
She isn't.
It's different. It's a little bit different, and it's kind of like I think she's trying out different types of silhouettes. I think there's a lot of different color things that she's doing. A lot of different, she's like the shapes and stuff are different than what you typically see with a maternity look.
Right.
But it isn't like your average everyday Rihanna. I don't agree with that. And so I don't know how much longer she has in terms of before the baby's gonna be born.
Right.
But we have at least a few months, you know, more of this kind of experimentation that she's doing. So I think it's gonna be really interesting, and I would love to see like, oh my God, what if she came out with a maternity line?
Ooh.
Like a Fenty maternity.
All the looks that you giving, girl, they all giving. And I was kind of disappointed in some of these celebrities and what they wore during their pregnancies. I guess they were just trying to I know the things that I think in my brain.
I'm disappointed in you.
Right. I mean, because I guess they be trying to worry about what people thinking about them or gonna say about them, so they try to wear this and that. Like, baby, if you want to still be a fashionista while you're pregnant, I feel like Rihanna is giving us a bunch of examples on how you can execute that. And I think she's giving also the message that just because I'm with child right now, this is a beautiful thing. I'm still a beautiful woman. This is still me under here. So I'm not going to just take the fact that I'm with child now and say this is all that defines me. So now I got to dress motherly. I got to get ready to be a mother. She's showing like, no, you can still be fashionable and, you know, so yeah, because it makes it feel like you have a new beginning coming instead of an ending. Yeah. Like some people make it like, oh, well, I'm about to be a mother now. It's coming to an end. But she's like, baby, I'm finna be a mother. Still got it. Let's go. So always motivating us. Always such a great example. Rihanna, keep on rocking out. Another thing about seeing her pregnant is that A$AP Rocky is never too far away. He a couple of steps behind her. And he be gushing in these interviews like, she's so beautiful. Never seen somebody beautiful pregnant. She's like, what you say? I just talking about how beautiful you are. And she'll just be smiling like the way that I feel about how attractive he is, that's how she feels about him, and that's how he feels about her too. Like, we all see them and we gush. They see each other and they gush, and they still been gushing since then. So this baby gonna be born into love.
Into love. And shmoney.
And fashion.
And shmoney.
And fashion, baby. Like, hey, I was finna say something, but I ain't gonna say, you know, but you know, these kids, celebrity kids be in competition, but I ain't gonna say nothing about it. But yeah, it's their kids.
Yeah,
that's why I said I ain't gonna say it.
Got their own.
Cause I was about to say I got a fave right now, but I was about to say this baby might. But I was like, no, I ain't gonna say it. They can shine together.
That's right. There's enough space for everybody.
Now that it's raining more than ever.
I'm really excited. I don't
About
know.
15 more
If
minutes.
she's gonna take a break. I wonder if she's gonna like chill back for a while. But I don't know if that's gonna be like. I don't know if that she will, but it's like she's taking a break from writing, from releasing music. So maybe she will take a break from the spotlight for a while after the baby's born. But I don't know. It's always interesting to see like how celebrities choose to deal with like when they have kids. Right. Are they going to bring them into the spotlight? Are they going to actually let us know what they look like? Are they going to put them front and center? People really, it's interesting, especially in the age of social media. It's really interesting to kind of see how people are choosing to engage with the public around like when they expand their family. Right. So I don't know what Rihanna's gonna do. I really have no clue. But just like with every other stage of her life, I'm interested to see because I'm definitely a stan as well. Right. So like I'm really excited about this. I can't like how old is Rihanna?
Hey Siri, how old is Rihanna?
34.
So I mean, I was gonna say something. Were you done with your thought?
Yeah, I was just wondering in my head. I was like, I wonder how many more kids Rihanna's gonna have. But that was actually.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say, don't be walking up on Rihanna when she got her baby with her, because I've been seeing a lot of different people trying to approach celebrities and ambush them while they got their kids with them. They having to hurry and get their kids away because you like trying to get pictures with them and the kids don't know what's going on. We ain't having that with Riri, baby, because I come help her fight you, baby. I already know she gonna get you together anyway. Hey, bitch, better get away from Rihanna like to say the B word a lot, you know, so I don't know. Why am I keep talking about how much Rihanna says and what she do and what she say and all that? I just love Rihanna. It's about the beautiful child that's in your belly. That is what we're here to talk about, but I just love you. And that is why I love the child. That is why I share your pictures on my Instagram and my Facebook. And I want everybody to know. Dear Mister, I'm too good to call and write my fans. This will be the last stage. But no, I love you, Rihanna. I'm so excited. Y'all do not walk up on her when she with her baby. Don't play with baby Riri. Don't play with baby ASAP. We ain't playing like that. But yeah, I got about like...
Stop the whole shit, though. Like paparazzi, ambushing people. Y'all need to stop that shit.
Yeah.
That shit weird.
I mean, some people, they was really trying to get a photo selfie with Kourtney Kardashian. You know, she got her little kid. She's a mother now. Kourtney, can you have a picture? She's like, no. And they still tried to get it, and she had to like run her kids away. I'm like, yo, this is a real woman with her kids.
One clout that bad, man. Just to taste it. Oh, it's right there. It's so close.
But shared it to TikTok and said Kourtney was rude. That post didn't go the way they thought it was gonna go because everybody was like, "Nah, baby, she had her kids on her." What was you thinking?
I think people feel some kind of entitlement, like celebrities are entitled to giving you their time and their attention. When baby, that's not the case.
I see you on TV, so you better talk to me.
Oh, let's do that in trash. I threw that in that car. Like my mom was like, where did that bag just go?
It's just like we be on Facebook and Instagram. Just because somebody recognizes you from Facebook or Instagram, I mean they can just come right up to you and sit down beside you and start taking pictures. But you're gonna be like, bro, wait a minute, hold on. You know, I don't even know you like that. So imagine them, they feel like that times 100. So fall back with the paparazzi with your thirsty ass. Come down here and get you some of these flavored lemonades if you that thirsty. Leave the celebrities alone.
And so with that, I feel like we pretty much gonna wrap up our chatter chew for the day.
Yes.
The chewing was amazing.
10 out of 10.
At the Cajun Bistro, downtown Birmingham, Alabama, BD.
1905 Park Place.
This was specifically their Sunday best brunch that we had here. Come check them out. And that's all right. I mean, I'm good, man. You have something else you want to say to the people?
That's it. Thumbnail.
Don't forget my raggedy nails.
Mine's are regular.